Excellent teachers make all the difference.
Welcome back, everybody. We are dedicating this whole show to German-inspired recipes. Carlyn is here from the Weiler Academy, and she's going to show us how to make a wonderful red cabbage dish. I think a lot of people love red cabbage when they have it, but they don't really make it at home. This is a really unique recipe. Tell me about it, and let's get to it.
Yeah, it's just your typical red cabbage. Normally, people make it with fruit,
okay.
Like apples, for example. And we've put a new twist. I put a new twist into it, and I use dark chocolate, and I'll use the raspberry vinegar to give it the fruity flavor. So it's a little different, but it's easier to digest.
So, and there's some tips and tricks to this. So the first thing I've got going, I'm sauteing some onions and some butter over here. All right.
And then how you prepare the cabbage is the trick. So you cut the cabbage in half. So I've already done that, and you notice there's that big white vein in the middle that you don't want to use.
It's too rough,
yeah,
right?
So you take, after you've cut them in half, you can peel the leaves off very easily. Okay. And that's what I've done. And then I take the knife and I cut that vein away, and that's very important. And then you'll do that with multiple leaves, and then you're gonna cut it in little strips.
Okay.
Okay.
So get rid of that core and get rid of the veins when you're cutting up the leaves.
And then you cut the little strips. Okay. And some people like the strips long. I don't like them long, so I cut them in half. It's just preference. It doesn't matter. I don't like them too big. So you just have those little strips. Okay. And then you're gonna take them and you throw them in
a big bowl.
A big bowl.
Okay.
So I've prepared a lot already because it takes a lot of time. It's probably the most time consuming is cutting the cabbage.
Sure. Is that about one head?
Yes. This would be the half, and this would be the other half sitting here still.
Got it.
So this is a half of a head.
All right.
And it's gonna fill that whole pan. So when I get the cabbage, the whole cabbage, it's gonna be heaped.
Okay.
But it cooks down to almost nothing. The next step, and the most important part, is the massaging. So you have to take it in your hands and you kind of squish it and just pull it. So what we're doing is we're pulling the moisture up and out so that it cooks faster and it gets really tender, else it's not chunky and doesn't get so sour. So it has to be kind of, if you just touch it, it's real soft.
Okay, and really take the time to do that, you know, 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, and the longer you do it, the better your cabbage
it's going
will
to taste.
Yep.
All right, so at home you'll kind of really massage it and get it nice and soft. Then it goes in with the onions and the butter. And we're going to hurry along just a little bit, but we'll put the full recipe for this on the website. Now, at this point, how long would you let this cook in the onions and butter?
I just kind of mix it up. It doesn't really matter. Just, you know, so it's mixed. You see it kind of gets like glossy and
beautiful.
Yep,
Colors, gorgeous.
And you're fine.
All right, now what?
And then after that, I'll take the bouillon. So we'll have like about a cup of beef or vegetable bouillon, whatever you like, and you add that.
All right. To give it a little bit more of a savory.
Just get that little flavor. So what we're doing is we're mixing sweets and sours all the time just to kind of keep the flavor going. And then after that, and you let that juice cook down, and then I'd add a half a cup of red wine. Okay. Half a cup to a cup.
Depends how much you've got in there.
And then you have to let that all cook down. So there's no juice like that.
So another like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes until there's no liquid. And we're hurrying along a little bit. Now this is interesting. I've never heard of this before.
So I take 70% a dark chocolate, and it doesn't matter. Just it has to be at least 70%. It can even be 90. And then I'll take like 4 squares, so like 1 strip of the bar, and I melt it in the microwave or over
just to get it a little bit melted.
Yeah, and then I put it in. I used to use the microwave, and then you kind of mix it in. So now it wouldn't be so juicy as it is right now because our water would have been evaporated.
I got it. And then last thing we're going to finish with.
Man, this is a trick. I take a raspberry balsamic. I know they even make a dark chocolate balsamic. And that works too. Then it's real heavy and great in the winter. Let's put a little bit more. I'll use about a half a cup.
Okay.
And then just kind of pour that over.
And that is like the finishing.
That's it. And then you let it cook, and you have to let it cook for an hour.
Okay.
For sure.
All right.
The more you cook it, again, like the goulash, the better it is. So just let it sit there and cook, and make sure you stir it because it burns fast because of this
And
chocolate.
we don't want that to happen.
No.
Here it is after it's cooked down. Look at that.
So it is rich.
Absolutely gorgeous. How wonderful would that be with the pork roast or spatzel? Wow. We will put the recipe for this red cabbage on our website. Always a pleasure to see you. Thanks so much. For more about the Weiler Academy, the website?
Yes, weileracademy.com, and we just launched our new